Don't buy an EV just yet. 2026 isn't finished, and some of the year's most interesting electric vehicles are still arriving. From a more affordable Rivian to the next generation BMW technology, several major EVs are scheduled to reach buyers before the end of the year. If you're planning to buy an EV soon, these 5 might be worth waiting for. Here's the thing about buying an EV right now. The vehicle sitting on the lot today might already be a generation behind by December. New battery chemistry, faster charging, longer range, entirely new platforms built from scratch instead of adapted from a gas car. That's not a small upgrade cycle. It's the difference between owning last year's phone and this year's. And in the next few months, 5 automakers are proving exactly how fast that gap can open up. So before you sign anything, here's what's actually coming, and what it brings to the table, and whether it's worth the wait. Number 5. Porsche Cayenne Electric. Porsche is taking one of its most important SUVs fully electric, and it isn't a cautious first attempt. The Cayenne nameplate has been one of Porsche's best-selling models for 2 decades, and the brand knows exactly how much pressure that puts on the electric version. It has to deliver Porsche driving dynamics, real usability, and none of the compromises people still associate with early electric SUVs. Based on what Porsche has revealed so far, it's not holding back. The Cayenne Electric is arriving with 442 PS on tap and up to 325 kilowatts of overboost power when you engage launch control, enough for a 0 to 60 km/h sprint in around 4.8 seconds. Combined range tops at nearly 643 kilometers, and thanks to an 800-volt architecture, it can charge from 10 to 80% in as little as 16 minutes. Add roughly 325 kilometers of range in just 10 minutes under optimal conditions. That's serious performance and serious practicality in one package. It can tow up to 3,500 kilograms with the optional off-road package fitted, which is not something most electric SUVs can claim. 2 charge ports are built into the body, one on each side, so you're never stuck reversing into a parking spot just to reach a plug. Porsche didn't stop at fast charging either. The Cayenne will also offer an optional wireless charging system, the first of its kind on an electric Porsche, meaning you simply park over a floor plate at home and the car starts charging itself automatically, no cable required. Unlike many future EV announcements that live in concept car limbo for years, buyers shouldn't wait long to see this one on the road. Compared to other electric performance SUVs already on sale, the Cayenne Electric is arriving with a charging architecture and towing capacity most of them simply don't offer. If you want performance without sacrificing SUV practicality, this could be worth the wait. Number 4. Rivian R2 Premium. This could be the Rivian that finally brings the brand to a much larger audience. Rivian built its reputation on the R1S and the R1T, capable, adventurous, and expensive. The R2 exists to fit that last part without losing what made those vehicles interesting in the first place. It's smaller, more accessible, and it's aimed squarely at buyers who like the idea of a Rivian but never liked the price tag. The premium trim, arriving later in 2026, starts at $53,990 and brings dual-motor all-wheel drive, 440 horsepower, 537 pounds-per-foot of torque, and an EPA-estimated 333 miles of range. It'll do 0 to 60 seconds in about 4.6 seconds. For context, that puts it well ahead of most compact electric SUVs on the market today, both on power and on range. Inside, Premium adds wood-accented trim, heated and ventilated front seats, heated rear seats, and Rivian's signature pop-out torch flashlight built into the door, genuinely useful if you're setting up camp after dark rather than just a novelty feature. Every R2 gets an NACS port standard, unlocking access to more than 21,000 Tesla superchargers without an adapter. And the fast charging curve is strong enough to add around 150 miles in roughly 15 minutes. There's also a software story here that matters. Rivian's onboard processor is built to keep improving the vehicle after you buy it, same way Rivian has updated the R1S and R1T with new features along after delivery. That's the kind of ownership experience that traditional automakers are still catching up to. For American buyers considering an electric SUV, waiting for the R2 could change the entire equation. Number 3. Mercedes-Benz GLC Electric. The GLC is already one of Mercedes-Benz's most important SUVs. Now Mercedes is bringing that formula into its next generation of electric vehicles. Instead of creating another unusual standalone EV, Mercedes is electrifying a name buyers already recognize. And this one is expected to land between $60,000 and $75,000 when it arrives in the second half of the year. That's a deliberate shift in strategy. Mercedes' earlier EQ-badged models struggled to build the same loyalty as its combustion lineup. So this time, the electric version simply wears the GLC name. The same badge that's been on the brand's bestsellers for years. It's built on the brand's dedicated MB-EA electric platform, engineered from the ground up for electric power rather than adapted from a gas chassis. Running on an 800-volt system with peak DC charging around 330 kilowatts, launch models paired dual-motor all-wheel drive with roughly 483 horsepower, drawing from a 94 kilowatt-hour battery for an estimated 335 to 350 miles of range. The centerpiece, though, is what's on the dashboard. Mercedes is fitting an available display that stretches nearly 39 inches, pillar to pillar, one of the largest screens ever put in a production vehicle, paired with an AI voice assist built to understand normal conversation instead of memorized commands. Four-wheel steering and air suspension round out the options list, along with the kind of interior material quality that's long separated a genuine Mercedes from a badge exercise. This launch also puts the GLC on a direct collision course with the BMW iX3, later on this list. When two of the biggest German luxury brands release competing electric SUVs within months of each other, that competition tends to work in the buyer's favor. Sharper pricing, stronger incentives, and neither brand able to afford falling behind. And that could make the electric GLC far more important than the EQ models that came before it. If you're the kind of person that likes to know exactly what's landing before you commit to anything, hit subscribe because the next two on this list might be the most important electric SUVs of the entire year. Number 2. Volvo EX60. This could become one of Volvo's most important EVs yet. The EX60 enters the hugely popular midsize SUV segment with a starting price of $59,795. Next-generation battery and charging technology, and Volvo's familiar focus on safety. At the top of the range, it's rated for up to 400 miles, with as much as 670 horsepower and a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds. Charging is just as aggressive, 10 to 80% in as fast as 19 minutes, with peak rates adding roughly 173 miles in 10 minutes. Through a built-in NACS port that plugs directly into the Tesla supercharger network. It's also the first Volvo built on the brand's next-generation electric architecture. Mega casting forms large sections of the body from a single piece of aluminum, replacing hundreds of smaller parts and cutting both complexity and weight. Cell-to-body integration builds the battery directly into the car's structure, which lowers overall weight, frees up cabin space, and helps both range and performance at the same time. On board, Volvo's Hugging Core computing platform runs alongside Google Gemini, means the EX60's assistant and feature set are designed to keep improving after delivery, similar to how a smartphone gets better with updates. Safety remains Volvo's signature strength, and the EX60 debuts a world's first multi-adaptive front safety belt alongside Volvo's established pilot assist system. Cargo space comes in at 64.3 cubic feet with a wide, flat floor tailgate and hands-free opening for when your arms are already full. For American buyers especially, the size puts it right in the heat of the market, squarely where the best-selling electric SUVs already live. If Volvo delivers on its promises, the EX60 could become a serious Model Y alternative, with more range, more power, and Volvo's decades of safety reputation behind it. And coming in at number 1, BMW iX3 New Class. And this is the one I'd watch more closely. The new iX3 isn't simply another electric BMW. It's the first SUV built around BMW's New Class generation, a platform the company describes as its biggest engineering reset in decades, and the US deliveries are scheduled to begin this fall at a starting MSRP of $61,500. The numbers back up the hype. Range lands between 383 and 434 miles, putting it near the top of its segment. The iX3 puts out 463 horsepower and 476 pounds-per-foot of torque, hitting 0 to 60 in 4.7 seconds, and it can charge from 10 to 80% in just 21 minutes on a compatible DC fast charger. All of that runs through BMW's new Heart of Joy, a single central computer that, for the first time, controls the drivetrain and driving dynamics together, coordinating every process in milliseconds rather than relying on multiple separate control units talking to each other. Inside, BMW is introducing panoramic vision, projecting key information directly onto the base of the windshield, alongside the new panoramic iDrive system and an AI-driven intelligent personal assistant that learns from how you actually drive over time. The iX3 also comes with an NACS charge port for direct Tesla supercharger access, a CCS adapter included for broader compatibility, and full bi-directional charging support, so the car can power your home or your gear when you need it to. BMW is backing all of this with one of the largest public charging networks in North America. More than 180,000 charging ports through the BMW charging network, including Electrify America, IONNA, Shell Recharge, EVgo, ChargePoint, and Tesla Superchargers, all managed through a single app. The first with 6th generation 800-volt battery technology and the first real design of what the rest of BMW's electric lineup is about to become. You're not just waiting for a new iX3, you're waiting for the beginning of BMW's next generation. Why waiting until the end of 2026 could pay off? The EV market is moving incredibly quickly. Buying today could mean missing newer battery technology, faster charging, improved range, and completely new models arriving only months later. Every one of these 5 vehicles brings something the current market doesn't fully have yet: 800-volt architecture, a screen the size of a windshield, a battery built into the body itself, or a platform that resets an entire brand's approach to electric vehicles. That doesn't mean buying now is a mistake. If you need a vehicle today, today's EVs are still good EVs, and there's nothing wrong with buying one that fits your life right now. But if you have even a little flexibility left in your timeline, the final months of 2026 are shaping up to be one of the strongest stretches of EV releases this market has ever seen. 5 major automakers, 5 very different approaches, all landing within a few months of each other. If you don't need a new EV immediately, the final months of 2026 could be worth waiting for. So here's the question. Out of these 5, which one would actually get you to wait? The Cayenne's performance, the R2's price, the GLC's screen, the EX60's range, or the iX3's new platform? Drop your pick in the comments and subscribe if you want to see how each of these actually performs once they hit the road.